Congress President Sonia Gandhi is being questioned by the Enforcement Directorate. They're interrogating her in the National Herald newspaper money laundering case. This as Congress workers and party leaders are protesting across the country as well as in central Delhi. This is similar to those protests that took place earlier when Rahul Gandhi was also summoned last month for questioning in the National Herald case as well. And Congress workers now stopping a train here in New Delhi itself, blocking the track. This is at Shivaji Bridge station that they have blocked this train as they continue their protests. Congress leaders and MPs who are protesting and trying to march from the Congress office to the ED office, courted arrest. They've been taken away to a police thana, and you had Chidambaram and Jairam Ramesh tweeting about being taken away by the police. And there you can see now Congress workers on the railway tracks blocking this train in Delhi. So the Congress really upping the ante, as it were, as Sonia Gandhi is being questioned. They've slammed this as a political vendetta, and they've claimed that this is just harassment and targeting of the Congress leaders of the Gandhi family. The BJP, however, has hit out and they've criticized the Congress protests as a demand for protecting the Gandhi family. They're saying, why are the Gandhis above the law? Why can they not be questioned? And the Congress is a pocket organization of one family, and now its assets are also being pocketed by the family. That is what BJP leader Ravi Shankar Prasad said this morning as he attacked the Gandhis and attacked the Congress for these demonstrations that had been planned today. So today the Congress also chaired a meeting in Parliament with other opposition parties where they spoke about this vendetta against the Congress party and also the misuse of central agencies like the Enforcement Directorate and CBI against the opposition. In fact, a letter too was signed by 12 opposition parties following that meeting, in which they hit out over the kind of action that is taken against opposition leaders and how the ED and the CBI is used against opposition leaders. So 12 opposition parties, they're signing that letter on a day that we're seeing that Sonia Gandhi is being questioned by the Enforcement Directorate in this particular case. And demonstrations across the country by the Congress. The demonstrations are being held in Patna, in Jammu, in Guwahati, in Delhi, in Bengaluru, as well as in Thiruvananthapuram. So protests and demonstrations across the country as the Congress protests on a day that Sonia Gandhi has been called for questioning by the Enforcement Directorate, alleging that this is vendetta politics. There was even this march at Parliament, stop the misuse of the Enforcement Directorate. As we said, 12 opposition parties even signed a letter in a joint statement in which they said that the Modi Sarkar has unleashed a relentless campaign of vendetta against its political opponents and critics through the mischievous misuse of investigative agencies. Prominent leaders of a number of political parties have been deliberately targeted and subjected to harassment in an unprecedented manner. And we condemn this and resolve to continue and intensify our collective fight against the anti-people, anti-farmer, anti-constitution policies of the Modi Sarkar. So that was the letter that was signed, or the joint statement signed by 12 opposition parties. Let's just listen into what Ambika Soni is saying to the media.
स्वास्थ्य की तरफ ध्यान दें. अभी कोविड से उतरी हैं, आप उनको बुला रहे हैं, ठीक है. कानून किसी को मत छोड़ो, मगर तरीके होते हैं. अगर मेरे खिलाफ कुछ है, मुझे बुलाओ ईडी में. मगर वो अध्यक्ष हैं, 20 साल से कांग्रेस के अध्यक्ष हैं. कभी कुछ किया है उन्होंने जिससे लोगों की इज्जत उनको ना मिली हो? आज भी अगर आप वोट डलवाओ कि सबसे लोकप्रिय नेता कौन है, मैं आपको दावे के साथ कह सकती हूँ सोनिया गांधी को सबसे ज्यादा. बीजेपी ने तो आपके सत्याग्रह को बताया दुराग्रह है और सिर्फ एक परिवार. वो जो उनको सत्याग्रह करना आता ही नहीं, जो सोशल मीडिया में किसी के खिलाफ लिख दे या कुछ सोच ले. एक बेचारे गरीब बंदा जो कचरा कूड़ा कचरा उठाता है, उसमें किसी ने मोदी जी की तस्वीर फेंक दी, उसका भी नौकरी छोड़ दी। ये तो किसी चैनल ने उठाया। तो वो
आरोप सही है कि आप लोग एक परिवार को बचाने की कोशिश पूछताछ से
देखें, हम अपने अध्यक्ष को बचाने की कोशिश नहीं कर रहे हैं। हम अपने अध्यक्ष के लिए इज्जत और सम्मान का बर्ताव चाहते हैं।
So there you heard Congress leader, they're hitting out over Sonia Gandhi being summoned and questioned, and many have spoken out about why the ED needed to call her, given her fragile health, the fact that she's just recovered from COVID, and also the Congress is arguing that many of the records and that the ED is seeking are already with the income tax, with the probe agency. So what is the need for this questioning of Sonia Gandhi? The BJP hitting out, saying why can't Sonia Gandhi be questioned, and why does the Congress have to protest in this manner, saying that the Congress is now just being controlled by one single family, and why do they have to hold such demonstrations, and are the Gandhis above the law?